Our next speaker is somebody who I think we all owe a debt to. In my meetings with him, he was one of the reasons why I thought Longmont was a good place to live. And he contributed a lot to Longmont to make it what it is today, a great place to live. In fact, when I first moved to Longmont, and I thought any city that would close the main drag to have a pet and doll parade couldn't be all that bad. But John is one of those people who saw things that he could change, and he stepped forward to make the changes. And I've always felt indebted to him just for the mere fact that I raised a daughter here who, by the way, knew his sons as they were growing up. And it was a really driving point that I said, I finally have found a place I can live and feel comfortable in, and it was Longmont. So at this point, I would like to introduce to you, John grew up in Longmont. He graduated from Longmont High School in 1963. Wow, same year I did. Actually, I didn't graduate. They asked me to leave. He attended CSU majoring in agricultural engineering. Upon graduation, he worked in the livestock. Why am I holding this?
I know.
How many of you pick up things and think, all my life, I've always wanted to be with you. Thank God and Greyhound for taking her away. No. Upon graduating, he worked at the livestock business, Golden West Mill. Come on, guys. I'm trying to introduce the guy. Golden West Mill feedlots in Longmont and Fort Lupton. In 1981, he started his own grain merchandising business, was elected to the Longmont City Council, which was where I met him. He has two sons, Brad and Reed. He has served on the Longmont Water Board, St. Vrain Valley School Board, and the Longmont United Hospital Board of Directors. He's currently a director of the American Ag Credit. He enjoys running, having completed 7 marathons. He also enjoys bicycling, having participated in a number of Ride the Rockies, various century rides, having completed 6. Whoa, John, you're an animal. He has done all but 4 of the 34 Longmont triathlons. He has enjoyed solo bicycle trips in Chile, Argentina, France, Italy, Russia, the Baltic States, Poland, and Kimball, Nebraska. He likes the adventure of seeing new places, learning new things, meeting people, and making new friends along the way. Tonight he will share his trip through Tuscany and Italy in 2009 and the spontaneous adventures experienced when you put yourself out there with no plans or expectations and being accountable to no one but yourself. What is John doing right now? He's living the dream. So folks, please enjoy Reflections on a Solo Bicycling Trip Through Tuscany. I give you John Caldwell.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you, Greg. This is my story. It's not so much a travel log as it is about synchronicities. On my flight to Europe on the East Coast, my plane was late getting in, and on the concourse I met these 2 young ladies and their entourage that were late for their plane. And as you know, airlines do not tend to hold doors, particularly international flights, but they held the door for these 2 ladies because Bernadette is suffering from MS, and they held the plane. If they hadn't held the plane for her and I haven't met her, I'd missed the plane. So that was one of the first things that happened. When I got to Europe, I was in Bologna and started my trip and was headed out of town and went to a town called Bogno. And the first day it started to rain, and it looked like it was going to rain for about 3 days. So I decided, well, I woke up in the morning, well, I think I'm going to go to Cinque Terre. So I got on the train and went to Cinque Terre it had been raining there, and the trail was closed, but decided to go anyway. So the first 15 minutes, I met this couple, Tom and Annette Kissinger, from Boulder, Colorado. And we spent the day on the trail. There were hardly any people on the trail except us, and we had a delightful time. What are the chances you're going to meet somebody from Boulder, Colorado? So after our trip that day in Cinque Terre, this is Monte Rosa on the trail, and in a minute you're going to see the fact that even though the trail was closed, we made our own way. So taking the train back from Cinque Terre to get my bicycle, I was on the train and I met this young lady who was a professional ballerina. And now I have a friend, Francia, who is a professional ballerina. I don't know, I'd never met a professional ballerina, but now I've got a friend who is one. So after I got back to Bogno and got my bicycle, this gives you an idea of what the terrain was like there. And as I was headed toward Arezzo, and as I got into Arezzo, I was thinking about, it was getting late in the afternoon, I was thinking, okay, where am I going to stay? These young people were fixing a dinner out in the front of their house. They weren't cooking burgers and brats, they were fixing like a 4 or 5 course dinner, and they invited me to come in, and I spent 3 or 4 hours with them. Paulo in the back was a law student, and he and I still are in contact on Facebook. So as I journeyed from Arezzo down toward Siena, I was going around a curve in the road one day and encountered this young bicyclist coming the other way. He had his panniers, I had my panniers. We passed each other, and we stopped, and we just started talking. And right there in the middle of the road, not in the middle of the road, by the side of the road, we talked about each other's lives. This is Justin, this is the young man I met. He was recently separated, divorced, a similar situation, and it was incredible that I met this young man, and we had this incredible bonding experience on our ride. As I ventured down the road another day, I came to this town, and it was a junction, and this man, I just saw this man walking on the sidewalk, and so I stopped and I asked him, which way should I go? And he said, go this way. This picture does not do this justice. This was the most idyllic, peaceful road I've ever ridden on. It was just incredible experience, and it was because I'd stopped, reached out to someone, and they'd help me. Being in the livestock business, everywhere I go, I take pictures of livestock, sheep or cattle. The next encounter I had was outside of Florence. One evening I was looking for a place to stay, and I found La Ripa Agriturismo, and this is Inga and Luca, and this was Luca's birthday, and they had a friend there celebrating his birthday. I was the only guest that night. This is in October, and I was a guest, and I met Daria, and Daria has become a dear, dear friend. I've been to Italy twice to see her and her family, and actually I'm going back on another bike trip next month, and I'm gonna spend 3 or 4 days with Daria and her boyfriend before I go on to my bicycling trip. So this is how I travel. This is the rented bike with the panniers and the rack packs, and you just You know when you're going to get there, you know when your plane ticket's home, you know you've got a bicycle, you've got a general idea, and you hit the road. No reservations. Like I say, you got a general idea, but the incredible things that happen, the synchronicities, when you put yourself out there, you're by yourself, you don't have to consult with anybody else, and you're just reaching out to whoever you encounter. So thank you very much.
Thank you, John.